Hey guys, I'm Sean from Sheetz Multimedia, and this is the story of how I bluffed my way into the Stanley Cup Finals last year. There was a huge viewing screen on Lower Broadway and just thousands of people up and down the street, some of them watching on that screen, some of them just partying, some of them in the bars, etc. I realized that to get a good angle of the crowd, I'd have to find my way up to one of the rooftop bars, but the problem was that they were all packed out and they weren't letting anybody in. I walked up to the door of the stage on Broadway, and kind of just off the top of my head, out of nowhere, I just found myself saying, "Oh, I work for Channel 5 News, I'm here to get some B-roll." I was carrying this around the whole night, but I had no kind of credentials of any kind. All I wanted to do was to shoot from over the edge of a rooftop bar to get some kind of angle, so I just rolled with it. I was like, oh yeah, I don't know exactly which footage they use. They send a lot of us out, but if they do use it, I know that they'll tag the restaurant. And so then the manager takes me in, takes me up the elevator, and takes me to a guy up on their rooftop bar and says, "Hey, this is someone else from Channel 5, they want to get more footage." So I found out that somebody had already essentially done the same thing. So I was up there just sort of like putting my camera over the edge and filming, and that guy had to stand there chaperoning me. I thought my night was essentially probably going to be done. It was at the beginning of the third period, and I thought, why not just go over to the arena and just see what happens if I try the same excuse? There was a viewing party going on outside the arena. So this was like stage one, so I thought, all right, here we go. I start saying, "Oh, I'm with Channel 5, getting bit," and I was like halfway through saying Channel 5, and the person just goes, "Ah, yeah, fine, sure, good." And they didn't even care, they just waved me straight through. So outside the arena, they were all watching the game on another monitor, and I was kind of pretending to film that a little bit while really scoping out the entrances. I picked an entrance, there's a security guard on either side of the door, and right as I was walking up to the guards, I thought to myself, I should probably make my lens just a little bit sort of bigger, see me. So I extended my lens to its full length just to look that much more like a professional. Look how big it is, I must be very fancy and professional, right? Channel 5 only has access to the 24 105s. The guard on the right starts to gesture for like, "Where's your, can I see some kind of, do you have a pass or a," which would make sense. But the guard on the left, who was a little bit closer to me, that person just goes like, just gives me the thumbs through. And so I was just like sort of pretended I didn't see the other person, and I just like opened the door and walked in. And then there's the metal detector, but that guard had just seen the security guard outside just give me thumbs through. And so he just said, "Don't even worry about scanning your stuff," and he just let me right in. And so then I was just in the lobby, just sort of waiting for somebody to yell from behind me to come back or something. I went to the escalator in the lobby, walked in through one of the curtains, and just sort of stood there around other people and just filmed. And I think they all assumed I was there for some official reason too. And it was like a lot of money to get into that game. And I just said, I didn't even sneak in. I was let in just because I said I was with Channel 5. Unfortunately ended with that empty netter. And then we all just like sort of left quickly after that because we were depressed. So shout out, thanks to the door guy at the stage, the manager of the stage on Broadway, and the security officers at the Bridgestone, I guess. Thanks since I wasn't a bad guy. Maybe not thanks in general. But I was glad that you weren't very good.